Hi, I'd like to show you a cool feature in 3DCoat where you can paint a layered depth information on a model. So let's jump right into it, and I'll be creating a depth 0, 1, a depth, let's call it large, and a new layer, depth mid, and depth fine, okay, or small. So the depth large layer, I will be filling it with a large pattern. For example, let's use this circular pattern and let's use cube mapping because we've got some distortion on the UVs. So if I use UVs, then it might not come out as nicely. Okay. The problem with using cube mapping is that you will get these kind of the trilateral or triplanar, projection as it fades away. Okay, let me just click on this model over here and again and again and again, and maybe click here to fill the whole layer and again. Okay, so I have a large pattern over here. Now, on the mid layer, I'll just do a middle-sized pattern and maybe, yep, click on each poly island. And on the small, I will do an even smaller sized pattern. So click and click and click. Okay, so we've got a really bubbly elephant over here. Now, let's just go along and pretend that we only have this. If I want to create a curvature map, I go here and calculate the curvature. Why do I want to do this? Well, I'd like to use the curvature map for conditional painting, meaning that I'd like to paint okay, somewhere around these circles or in between them or on top of them. You'll see in a minute. So let's create some color layers. So color base, okay. This will be a single color, which I can go ahead and I'm gonna not use stencils. So I'll click, let's use a green color for this elephant, or this one rather, and here you go. The whole model is a nice bright color of whatever this color is. And now I'll go and color detail. So color detail will be, for example, red lines around these circles, these large ones. So I go into conditional painting. This whole list is that, conditional painting. I'm filling with color, just checking all values, and I immediately get a feel for what this will be. And the degree can be dialed down a bit. I'll click on the model and on this one and on that one in the back. And okay, so I painted this. Now, what if I would also like to incorporate these dots into so I'd like, in essence, red circles around these mid-sized dots. Well, this cavity map doesn't contain the information from those dots. So I'll just go ahead and I'll save this cavity map as something else. Okay, you can rename this, whatever. And I'm just going to hide it. And with these two depth layers activated, I'll just, have it pure. I'm going to calculate the curvature map. And the updated curvature map will contain the information that these mid dots have as well. So if I go into color detail, and I can use this, but I'll just delete it and as you can see, I can refill this layer with red, and I will have new information coming from that new curvature map. Okay, and then you can imagine that if I activate the small micro detail and I'll just rename this to L2, calculate the curvature map with all three depth channels activated, I'll get a brand new curvature map. And I'm not getting rid of anything, basically. I'm kind of non-destructive. And I'll use this for my latest version of this detail color. Okay, let's just press delete for the whole layer to be emptied. And I'm clicking and I'm clicking and I'm clicking. And cool. We have updated curvature information. So this is useful in a more meaningful way in other painting scenarios. I was trying to just demonstrate this. It's important to have this exact case sensitive name for your active cavity map, because that's what it will use when conditional painting. And if you don't believe me, let's just copy this, let's say Control X, and I'll just say old one. I'm just renaming this, and Control V, and you don't even have to make it visible, but you'll immediately see that, let's change the color for more visibility, that if I'm on a new, black, for example. So if I'm on a new layer, it's now using the cavity map that is named cavity map, brackets, RGB brackets. So you can go ahead and generate a whole bunch of cavity maps and use whichever one you need in a situation later on. I hope this was useful. I think it's really cool to layer in-depth information later on in the painting process and have the ability to generate a new cavity map that helps you, paint in color information in the crevices that you generated later down in the painting process. So hopefully this was a useful tip. Maybe see you in the next one.